Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So we start the first question.
Alright.
Okay, do you actively participate in classroom activities? Why or why not?
From my experience, I actively participated in my classroom activities because it helps me to keep engaged with what the teachers are teaching in class, and it also helps me to understand better what they are teaching in class. For example, whether during economics, accounting, and mathematics, I always participate actively, just like asking questions or answering any questions that the teacher asks in order for me to keep focus in the class. And it also helps me to build a good relationship with teacher when I was actively interacting with them. That helps me to build a connection with the teacher, and it helps me to be a good student and a good leader at the same time.
Alright. What step do you take to build a good relationship with your teachers?
For me, in order to build a good relationship with my teachers, firstly, I always, like I said earlier, I ask them questions whenever I didn't understand in class. The second one, I show respect by keeping my behavior appropriate in class, keeping quiet, and the last one is I complete my assignments in time, whether they are due in a week or a month or even a day. I can complete them in order to help us build a trust among us, because a connection between students and teachers, I believe that it is very important in order for us to successfully achieve our goals together, which is for teachers, of course, they want their students to success, and for students ourselves, of course, we need to become successful ourselves, whether in academics and any other activities.
So next question. Okay, in your opinion, what are the characteristics of a good teacher?
In my opinion, good characteristic of teachers are, firstly, of course, they can deliver what they teach in class very well. They can make students understand what they are teaching, whether it is a hard topic or an easy topic. They can deliver it well, how they present it, and how they communicate with students. Whether they are teaching in class like a movie, or whether they are actively interacting with students, asking students questions, and open Q&A session for students. The next one, I believe that a good teacher will always take care of their students. Like, for example, say that the teacher always asks the students how they are, how their mental health, whether they can keep up with studies or not, or if they have any problems, they can share it with their teachers. I believe that it is very utmost important for the teachers to have good connection with students.
Alright. So we proceed. Okay. So next question: how do your teachers manage inappropriate behavior in class?
From my experience, to be honest, during my high school, I was kind of a little bit of inappropriate in class. Like, I always sleep in class and become quiet, loud. And actually, my teachers manage quite well because they are very calm and respectful, and they just not yet like very angry. They just give us a warning, and after the class, they give us a private lesson where they ask us about why do we act like that, whether they can help it or not. And I found that very helpful because it does not give a bad impact to me. The opposite, they give a good impact to me as they help me to become a better version of myself.
Okay. So last question: do you believe punishment is an effective way to change behavior? Why or why not?
Well, I believe that punishment can be effective, but it depends on how it's used. For example, the punishment can be effective if it is fair and not too harsh. Because if it is a fair punishment, it can help the students to learn from the mistake and become a better version of themselves. But the opposite one, if the teachers punish the students too harsh, they will cause the students to feel fear, and they will not become better of themselves. And the opposite one, they will become worse than what they are right now. That's why I believe that punishment is effective, but it cannot be too harsh. The teachers should manage the punishment wisely.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, good afternoon, yeah.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, thank you for attend to my interview question for today. It's about the situation in our school lah, MSN Kuching. So, my name is Mr. Afiq Hajizi bin Mahmud. I am a physics teacher that teach physics. I am the physics teacher that teach lower secondary school and the upper secondary school lah. Okay, so can you introduce yourself?
Okay, so my name is Miadanya Lubicha, anak Dera Pandong, and I am from class 4 Al-Farabi. I take IGCSE course in my school, and my favorite subject is biology and physics.
Okay, so I have some question with you. First of the question is, do you actively participate in the classroom activities? Why or why not?
Yes, I do participate actively in classroom activities, mostly because I want to collect merit or classroom evaluation for my final exam marks. But other than that, I want to create that bond between my peers in my class and also a bond between the teacher so that I can be more committed to the work that I'm given and I can understand the material of the class more.
Okay, do you think that the merit will give you inspire to participate in the classroom actively?
Yes, I think having merit in the class really inspires me and gives me more motivation to join the classroom activities because I have a goal and I can achieve something by doing the classroom activities.
Okay, very good. So, for the second question, what step do you take to build a good relationship with your teachers?
I think the first step that I take to build a good relationship with my teachers is, of course, the most important thing between even humans is to be very respectful because even though we have a relationship, we have to have that friendly relationship with our teacher. I think having that barrier between that bond between the teacher and student is still very important because we have to consider that this is a person working and we are learning from that person. So that is very important to me.
So basically, you have the good relationship with your teachers lah,
Yes,
almost.
I do have good relationships with all my teachers.
Okay, so very good. Okay.
Another step that I would take to build that good relationship with my teacher is, of course, have my work done, finish all my homework, make sure my assignments are done on time, so that, as again, I am being respectful to someone who teaches me. So if I finish my work, my teacher will also be very proud of me. So I really want that.
Okay. In your opinion, what are the characteristics of the good teacher?
A characteristic of a good teacher that I think is very important is someone who is committed and has very good knowledge about that subject. Because if that teacher is passionate about the subject, I think it would inspire the students, especially, to be more engaged with that subject and more committed. And when the teacher understands the material, I think it helps the students understand more too. Because if the students just ask directly from the teacher and the teacher can have direct answers for the question, they don't have to rely on the textbooks too much, they don't have to rely too much on themselves and making them feel like they're forced to learn the subject.
Okay. So, the second last question, how do your teachers manage inappropriate behavior in the class?
I think a way that my teachers manage inappropriate behavior in class is, of course, they punish students, first of all. But I think in this way, it creates that kind of sour environment between the teacher and the student. It gives the student a bad perspective of the teacher. But at the same time, the teachers still need to do this in order for the students to be respectful to the teacher, and for the student to not just slack off in class, but also to remember why they're in class, why they're learning in the classroom. So in another way, I think the teachers, of course, would change their method of teaching, because maybe some students don't understand the method of the teacher teaching. So by this, when the teachers understand that the students don't understand, the teachers change their way of understanding the material so that even the students can understand.
Okay. For the last question, do you believe that punishment is an effective way to change behavior? Why or why not?
I think punishment is definitely an effective way to change behavior, but in some cases, I don't think it's the greatest way to change behavior. So, for example, I can say that when we're punishing the student, we're not fully understanding why the student feels that way. We're just giving the student a blank description that they are someone that needs to be punished. So when this happens, the students will feel very pushed away from the teacher, and I think it would lead to, as again, the inappropriate behavior, sleeping in class, slacking off, not doing their work, not finishing their homework on time. And punishment, although does work in some cases, but I think the teachers should really rely more on having other ways, such as calling parents from home. So when they call their parents, it's not only that the teachers get to understand the student's problem, but the parents get to acknowledge what the student is going through, and what the student is going through, we can provide a better environment for them, provide a better solution for them. So when there is a solution to a problem, we get to have a good environment in our classroom.
Okay. Did you get some punishment before this in the class?
For now, I have never been punished yet, and I've never been punished to the point that my teachers come to school. And I think in this way, it keeps my good relationship with the teachers, and I hope I can keep up with this good attitude so that my parents can only come to my school for graduation.
Okay, thank you for your time with me, and okay, that's all for today. Okay, so thank you.
Okay, hi, welcome back. Cikgu Fitri here. So for today, I would like to do some interview session with one of my student. So her name is Zion. Okay, for my Form 4 student, I taught her on PE. And yeah, can you explain a little bit about yourself?
Hello, my name is Bianjina Imya. I am Form 4, and right now, Cikgu Fitri is my current PE teacher.
Alright, okay. So in this session, we got 5 domains. So the first domain is classroom engagement. So the question is, do you actively participate in classroom activities?
Yes, every time it is PE classes, I will try my best to actively join the activities.
Okay. Why?
It is because I would like to understand the topics, and I would like to learn a new skill, especially in sports.
Alright, okay. So that's mean you have interest in sport lah.
Yes.
Alright, okay. So the next domain is teacher-student relationship. Okay. So first question, what steps do you take to build a good relationship with your teachers?
Every time I see my teacher, I will greet them, and I will try my best to respect them in order to not get into their bad sides, and I will try my best to score the subjects the teacher is teaching, so that I could be a lot more dependable.
So this one in term of all of your subject, or for the certain subject only?
All of my subjects.
All of your subject lah. So include the PE eh?
Yes.
Alright, okay. So in your opinion, what are the characteristics of a good teacher?
In my opinion, a good teacher is someone who can make sure their students understands the topics that the teacher is teaching,
Okay.
and they also understands why the students cannot understand that part, and plus the teacher should be considerate towards the students as well.
Okay. So is there any opinions beside that?
I think there's none.
Okay. Alright. So next, this one regarding classroom management. So I hope you can understand what is classroom management. So how do your teachers manage inappropriate behavior in class?
Each time if there's inappropriate behavior in class, the teacher will call out the students and ask them to run a few laps or ask them to set up the things for PE classes.
Okay, this one for PE classes lah. Let's say for other classes,
They will get punishment.
for example.
For example, there will be teacher will ask them to squat or answer the question.
In front of the class?
Yes.
Alright. So does the teacher do some activities also? Beside that, for example, the teacher ask them to went out the class
Yes, at certain
certain
but
time.
not most of the time.
No, most of the time. Alright. Okay. So this one last domain, which is classroom rewards and punishment. So the question is, do you believe punishment is an effective way to change behavior?
I think punishment might be effective way to change behavior because it is to ensure the students knows what they're getting if they do bad things, and it will also prevent them from doing it a lot more in the future.
Alright, but let's say, okay, one of your friend, he or she didn't change the behavior.
Even after the punishment,
Yes, correct. So your opinion?
I think it's maybe as a friend, I
Mhm.
will try my best to advise she or he
Mhm.
in order for them to change. If they cannot, then I will ask help from the teachers as well.
Alright, okay. So I'm done here. Okay. So for all of you, there's only 5 questions for this interview, and I hope you can understand what have been explained by my student Vion, and I hope we can see you again next time. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Hi Fina.
Hi.
What are you doing?
I'm doing my homework.
Oh, good. Fina, come here please.
Teacher, how may I help you?
This is a question for you. It's okay?
It's okay.
Okay. Alright. Maybe I want to ask you about how class management, how about relationship between student and teachers, and so on.
I see.
Alright. Okay. My first question is, do you actively participate in classroom activity? Give me a reason. If you say yes, why? And if you say no, why not?
Well, my participation in classroom activities actually varies. Like it depends on my mood. Like if I was having a good mood that day, I would actively participate. Like I would answer a lot of questions and I would give feedbacks. But if that day I happen to have a foul mood, I would actually not that active because I don't think my mind is quite there in the classroom and I will think about a lot of things.
Alright, okay. Good. Okay, my next question is, what step do you take to build a good relationship with your teachers?
Well, in order to have a good relationship with most of the teachers, like, of course, I would finish my homework so that they won't have a reason to not like me. I would be extra polite, like I would not talk behind their backs, and also I would offer them help, like if they want help with carrying their books to the teacher's room, like I would give that help.
Yeah, I think you're a good student, right?
Right?
Okay, next, I want to ask you about your opinion. In your opinion, what do you think, what are the characteristics of a good teacher?
Well, from my opinion, like it's not like I want to say that any teachers are bad in their own way, but from my opinion, I think the teachers need to be considerate of her students' conditions. Like for example, if the student is participating in sports activities, they need to give the students extra time to finish their homework. And also, I think the teachers need to be compassionate and they need to be patient with their students. If they themselves are not interested in teaching, how do they want to attract students to like that subject better and score better? So I think that is the characteristic of a good teacher that teacher needs to do in their life.
Alright, I appreciate your answer. Okay, next, how do your teacher manage inappropriate behavior in class? What do you think?
Well, different people will manage that quite differently.
Yeah.
Like my BI teachers, she would call out the student's name and she would actually give advices in the form of stories like her experience, and it is actually pretty interesting. And the students seem to change. And there are also teachers who would conduct punishment for the students, like they would need to wear a school uniform on the preparation class. And it is actually quite effective in my opinion.
Is it okay? I want to know, who is your PI teacher?
My BI teacher is Miss Ivy.
Miss Amy, I know her. Okay, right. Last question for me. Okay, do you believe punishment is an effective way to change behavior? Give me a reason. Why?
Well, I absolutely think that punishment is effective to change bad behaviors, but it needs to be appropriate. Like, it doesn't need to be that extreme for a small kind of mistakes.
Yeah.
So, like maybe if they receive the punishment, they will feel more scared to do it and they will change for the better. So I absolutely think that it is really, really effective and it can be conducted.
Alright, excellent answer for you. Okay, I think that's all for today. Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank you,
teacher.
Afina.
Welcome.
Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good evening. Okay, my name is Muhammad Iskanil, physical education teacher in MRSM Kuala Terengganu. And today with me today is one of the students of MRSM Kuala Terengganu. Maybe you can introduce yourself, please.
So my name is Nordama Batrisha binti Nuhan. I am 15 years old, a student and also an athlete of MRSM Kuala Terengganu.
Oh, athlete. Are you an athlete?
Yes.
What sport do you join?
Netball and taekwondo.
Netball and taekwondo, so very good. Okay, you have you can enhance your soft skill in MRSM Kuala Terengganu. So, okay, this is Damia. Thank you for being here today with me. Okay, today we will have an interview sessions about a classroom environment in MRSM Kuala Terengganu. Okay, are you ready for this interview, Damia?
I am ready.
Okay, maybe we can start with the first question. Okay, do you actively participate in classroom activities?
Yes, I do.
Okay, why do you say so?
Because I think for me, it is important to pay attention and actively respond to the teacher, so that I will understand the syllabus better, and also the teacher will notice my potential in class. Besides that, it will help refresh my brain so that I won't sleep in class because I love to sleep.
Oh, do you mean by actively participate in class will make you understand the syllabus of the topics?
Yes.
Okay, that's very good. And then what steps do you take to build a good relationship with your teachers?
I will communicate with my teachers better, respect their instructions, and complete their homework on time.
Okay, so that is the thing that to build a good relationship?
Yes.
Why? Maybe you can give an example for that.
Because we will buy our teachers' heart by them.
Oh, you meaning when you're doing good to teachers, and then the teachers will love you back.
Yes.
Okay, I see. In your opinion, what are the characteristics of a good teacher?
In my way of thinking, I think a good teacher is patient, approachable, creative and also strict.
Why do you say strict is good teachers?
Because if the teachers are not strict with students,
Okay.
the students will take advantage of the teacher.
Oh.
If the teacher is too kind to them.
The teacher is to guide, and then the students will take advantage
Yes.
of the teachers. Okay, what do you think? The students will take advantage to the teachers when the teachers is not so kind.
Okay, for example, right, the teacher is too kind to them. They didn't complete their homework. The
Okay.
teachers are mad, so the students will go easy on her or him.
Oh, I see. Understand. Okay, very good opinion. How do your teachers manage inappropriate behavior in class?
They give warning at first, and then also they give a warning,
Okay.
and then a gentle reminder
Okay.
to help the students refocus.
So by give warning, teachers can manage the inappropriate behavior.
Yes.
The inappropriate behavior. Do you understand that?
Yes.
What is? Can you give example? What of inappropriate behavior?
Talk loudly in class.
Talk loudly.
Didn't respect the instructions.
Okay. Last one.
And also didn't complete the homework.
Didn't complete. Yes, that's really good points. Okay, maybe this is the last questions for today's interview. Do you believe punishment is an effective way to change behavior?
I do believe,
Why?
but it still depends on how it is applied.
It is depend on what,
On how it is
on
applied.
how it's applied to the students. You meaning by the teachers? Why do you say so?
Because I think if the teachers didn't give punishment to
Okay.
the students will repeat their same mistakes over and over again.
Okay, so when the teachers is giving the punishments, so what will happen to students? Maybe the punishment can make the students demotivated.
No, they
Do you
will
think so? Why?
demotivate. I think the
Yes, because when you said just now, when the teachers give the punishments, so the students will not do the same mistake, right? So what will happen when the teachers give the punishments, and then it will lead to demotivate?
because the students will learn the consequences after that.
Oh, I see, I understand. Okay, so I think that's all for today's interview, Damia. Okay, thank you for being with me today. Okay, so that's all. The response from Nur Damia. And then once again, thank you very much with us today. And then see you again. Assalamualaikum. Bye.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and thank you for taking the time to be here today. Okay, my name is Nurhadina, Satini, your lecturer. Okay, so I will be conducting this interview session. Okay, alright, so for your information, this is Chris, my student for interview today from semester 4, Diploma in Science Computer at College Professional Mara in Ramkota. Alright, so Chris, actually today we will discuss about a few questions about education. And for your information, I just have 5 questions for this interview session. Alright? Okay, so can we go for first question?
Yes.
Alright. So my first question is, do you actively participate in classroom activity? And give your reason why, and if not, give your reason why not.
I do actively participate in classroom activities, as I find it better for me to learn with friends rather than, for example, presentations. If I do a presentation by myself, I get scared, I get shy. But with friends, I feel like they give me motivation to keep going and to do better. So that's why I participate in classroom activities.
Alright, okay. So can we go for second question?
Yes.
Alright. So my second question is, what step do you take to build a good relationship with your teachers or with your lecturer?
Steps that I take to make a good relationship with my lecturers is I give them my utmost respect and kindness, as I find lecturers and teachers have the hardest and most important job in the world. They are teaching the next generation of workers. So they go through a lot of stress by handling students, long working hours. So I think by giving my respect and kindness, it will make their day better just a little bit.
Alright, thank you. Okay, so now we go to the next question. Okay, so in your opinions, what are the characteristics a good teachers or a good lecturer?
A characteristic of a good teacher and lecturer are those that take their time to learn about their students. As I find many students have different learning capabilities. So if a teacher takes their time to learn about that student capabilities, I think that's the best teacher of them all.
Alright, so now we go to the next question. So how do you teachers handle the student with challenging behavior? Okay, so you can give any example if you like. Okay, so you can.
Some of the examples are, if a student comes in late to class, they will just lock the door and not let them into class. And another example, if a student is loud, a teacher might give them a scolding. But lastly, if a student is late for handing work or misbehaving, sometimes the teacher deducts marks from that.
Alright. So now we are at the last question. Okay. So do you believe punishment is an effective way to change behavior? And if you think it's the effective, give your reason. If you think it's not, then give your reason.
I do believe punishment is an effective and a good thing, because there's a lot of misbehaving students in every single school. So to keep them in check, you need to give them punishment, as misbehaving students don't feel the sense of accountability. So for example, if a teacher gives them a punishment for doing something bad, they will have this mindset of, oh, if I do something bad, I will get punishment. So to not get punishment, I need to not do something bad. So that is why punishments are effective thing.
Okay. Alright. So these are done for our interview session. Okay. So I really appreciate with your feedback, with your positive answer. Okay. So thank you for spending